Hello everybody, it is me, 𝐅𝐄𝐀𝐓𝐒, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. So today I want to take y'all through some tips and some tricks about freelance modeling, right? Because if you didn't already know, I'm a model here in New York City. For a while I worked as a freelance model and I'm now signed with an agency. So I can answer a few questions about this or that in another video, but for today I want to pass y'all some tips and some tricks about freelance modeling, so that is exactly what we're gonna get into. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So how did I get started as a freelance model? I really got started back in 2018 when I came back home to New York when I was from studying in Atlanta, and luckily my sister was really getting into the swing of things as a photographer, and she was able to help me out with my digitals. And what are digitals exactly? Well, your digitals are pretty much your blank slate photos that you need when you're going to be applying to different castings, when you're applying to agencies, applying to work with different photographers. It just basically shows what you look like, your natural beauty, right? Your hair pulled back sometimes, facing forward, facing sides, profiles, all that type of stuff. So that's going to be your step one. And what I suggest for this step here is these photos do not have to be anything luxurious, they don't have to be anything professional, but they got to be clean, right? So you're going to want to make sure that you have the good lighting. Every single plane is really passing over today, and I don't understand why, but that's okay. So yeah, your digitals are going to be your first step, and when it comes to your digitals, you're going to want to make sure that they're clean looking, right? They don't have to be professional, they don't have to be anything luxurious, but they gotta be nice and clean. You're gonna want to make sure that you have natural lighting. You're gonna want to make sure that your clothes are fitted so that people can see the shape of your body, and that you don't look like a mess. You don't have to wear makeup or anything like that, but make sure your eyebrows are done, you know, simple stuff like that. But those are your digitals, and that's going to be the first step in the process. Make sure that your digitals are squared up and ready to go, because you're going to use these digitals in step 2. And what do you think step 2 is? Yeah, step 2 is going to be when you're taking these digitals and you're sending them to photographers, sending them to castings, right? Casting directors. And what you're trying to do in this step is you're trying to build up your portfolio, because right now your portfolio is probably looking like this, like you ain't got nothing there. But you got to build it up. And how are you going to build it up? Yes, what you can do is you can pay people to take a bunch of pictures of you and all that good jazz. Or what you can do is you can reach out to photographers, makeup artists, designers who are also building up their portfolios, and y'all can work TFP. So what is TFP though? So what TFP is that's known as trade for pay. And instead of trading money for services and time and stuff like that, you're just trading photos, and you're trading work that you can actually use in your portfolio. So that's TFP. You're not actually trading money. So what happens is you both show up to the shoot, the event, whatever it is, and you both get something out of it. So that's what you're looking for. If you don't want to drop all that money, which you really shouldn't be dropping all that money, because step 1 and step 2, that's just really trying to build up your portfolio. And if people are going to charge you mad money for that, don't do it. Don't do it, really. It's not in your best interest. You can find these people through Instagram. You can find them through Model Mayhem. It's something I've used. It's a little creepy, but I mean, sometimes it works. You can use that through Backstage. You find different Instagram accounts for your area where it's creatives just trying to work on their stuff, casting directors who are just throwing out castings, and that's how you really just try to get started. And especially, this is a safety note, especially when you are going to work with photographers, when you are going to castings that you haven't really heard of them before. Make sure that you bring somebody with you, because model safety is number 1, right? You don't want to show up to a place that you've never been to before, work with somebody who you've never worked with before. Even if you worked with them before and you feel more comfortable bringing somebody with you, do it, right? And any photographer, any designer, any makeup artist, anybody who has a problem with that, do not work with them, okay? Not worth it. You do not want to end up in a sticky situation because it happens all the time, unfortunately, and it's not somewhere you want to be. So bring somebody with you. Okay, so basically you end up at in these photo shoots, and you're building up your portfolio, and you're getting to a good place. And now step 3 is going to be your networking. And networking is the key. If there is a key in this process, it's going to be your networking. So what you're going to want to do in this step is you're going to want to take your new portfolio that is in the works, and it's getting good now, and you're going to want to like take it out there. Whether you're going to fashion shows, whether you are going to photo shoots with a bunch of people, you're exchanging Instagrams or whatever social media you're using, really. But you're exchanging mainly Instagram, especially if you're a model. You got to have an Instagram, sorry. But you're getting the Instagrams of all the makeup artists, all the photographers, all the models who you're walking near, right? Especially the models. And what you're going to want to do is, after you're done with the event, you go through these people's Instagrams. Yes, you become a little stalker. It happens. That's just who we are. Yeah, but you go through people's Instagrams, you see what shows they've walked for, you see what makeup artists they've worked with, what designers they've worked with, and you start following those pages. And I know, like, who knows, maybe your follower ratio might not be perfect for a little bit of time, but hey, you get gigs, you get jobs. Because you see when these pages start posting castings, when they're looking for a model for this lookbook, when they're looking for this and that, and you turn on your notifications and you submit. So that's where your networking becomes incredibly important, because one show can open up so many, and I've said this before, but fashion shows are my absolute favorite for this, because they open up so many windows of opportunities, because you meet so many people from so many different backgrounds and talents. So yeah, once you get that networking down packed, and you really start working with people outside of your bubble that you're comfortable with, that's when your portfolio starts getting really, really good. And what happens when your portfolio starts getting really, really good? I'll tell you what happens. So basically, now you're a hot commodity, and you set your price, and now if people want your face in one of their designs, if people want you in one of their photos, walking the runway for them, now you set your price, and you don't let people talk you out of your price, because you've gotten to a point where your portfolio is beautiful. And that's the goal, right? And as a freelance model, that's always going to be your goal. Keep your portfolio looking nice, keep your connects looking good, and make sure that you got your price ready for when people want to hit you up, because they will come. And this doesn't matter. A lot of people think that you got to be 5'10" and 115 pounds to be a model. No, you don't. You really don't. As long as you know how to network with people, you know how to show confidence, right? And you know how to make yourself look good. You practice your poses, you practice your runway walk. You can make it happen. So don't let anybody talk you out of this. If this is something that you're really passionate about, then go for it. So there you have it. Those are my major tips. Just to recap real quick, my first tip is to start with a clean slate with your digitals. Nothing professional. Don't pay anybody for that. You can take those on a smartphone. Second tip is to get out there and do some TFP work, right? At this point, you're still not paying for anything really, paying anybody, but you're building up your portfolio. After that, you really get to your networking, where you're going to start seeing some major changes. You really start working with different organizations, different brands, and all that type of stuff. And then you finally get to a point where your portfolio is beautiful, and then you set your price, okay? So that's how you really get started as a freelance model. And I hope that you took something away from this video. If you got any questions, any comments, feel free to comment them down below. And if you got anything that I missed, if you're a fellow model, comment them down below so people can see that as well. And if you so feel inclined, feel free to subscribe to my video, and I'll love you forever. All right, I'm out of here, and I will see you next time.